Iowa, Harvard of the writer's world, where the best of the best go to cheat on their spouses. What? Welcome to the Maple Desk. My name is Spencer. This year, I was a first-pass reader for the annual Iowa Review's fiction contest. I'm here to give you a first-hand account of that experience while protecting the confidentiality of the submitter's work. Background and process. A week after being hired, I received 40 entry submissions to read and review in a month. It's very difficult to find the exact number of submissions for this contest, but compared to other similar literary magazines, my rough estimate is I reviewed 2 to 5% of the total submissions sent in for the contest this year. All first readers were given the same reading guidance from the fiction co-editors. Quote, read through your assigned stories and mark each story either thumbs up or thumbs down in the review tab. If you thumbs up a story, please write a brief comment explaining what you liked about it. Be a generous reader and follow your gut on what writing you'd be excited to see in TIR. I've broken my slot of submission into a set of tiers with the goal of being more transparent what the average reader of a fiction contest like this is receiving through the chute. We are starting with the lowest qualified tier of submissions, which are the disqualified submissions. 6 out of 40, 15%. The fiction contest has a $20 entry fee, and I kind of thought that would dissuade a lot of this stuff, but 15%, that's a sizable portion of the submissions I read that instantly just disqualified.
Please move behind the main branch.
And the rules for the contest are pretty minimal and standardized. Don't go over the page limit, which is 25 double-spaced pages in this case, and don't put any identifying information like your name on it. And yet, let's get out of the way of this bothersome section. 2 green, 17 out of 40 submissions, 42.5%. The most populated category by far. This is work categorized by its need for extra editing. There's a large-scale flaw that's keeping me from fully dropping into the work. There's still some variance in this category. There will be a great section, but then it'll deflate or it can't keep up its momentum. Iowa upholds the standard that once you submit a piece, there's no second chance. Please sit with a piece before sending it out. The greatest editor to ever exist is time. Based on my reading experience, the number one reason that your piece gets rejected from a literary magazine is because it's just too green. I want to see your work in literary magazines. I need to see your work in literary magazines. So please be kind to yourself and give yourself extra time and grace to really craft your masterpiece. It's in this section that we do have to take a detour to a nagging new issue that's coming up in literary magazines. AI, 2 out of 40, 5%. I sniffed out 2 pieces that seemingly used AI in their submissions, both in the 2 green section. I'm no expert in the tendencies of these language models. That said, the ones that I caught were no real threat to being published. They just felt kind of like this spewing spigot of words that didn't really connect with me in any way. This is a real growing concern. Most lit mags have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to AI, bordering on hostile, and yet AI has already breached the beach. This year, famed literary magazine Granta published The Serpent in the Grove, which has received heavy speculation that it was AI generated.
Name.
I'll put the link somewhere here. There, we'll see if I learn how to edit well enough to figure that out. AI outcompeting living writers is tremendously disheartening for living writers. On the other side of the coin face, really disheartening for readers and contest judges that the AI stuff is what is being valued and promoted and chosen over the living writers. It's just such a bummer.
What's the lesson here? I always want to make sure I know what the lesson is.
I have no real good solution or happy twist on it. It just kind of sucks. Okay, 11 out of 40, 27.5%. These are pieces that are generally sort of accomplishing what they're going for. I can tell there have been a couple of rounds of edits on these pieces. The baseline is higher for what's going on. It received a more thorough consideration of could this be a thumbs up? The OK's signal stall out, not so much in the mechanics of a particular piece, more so about a writer needing to take a leap in terms of ability. Whether it's an improvement in their ability to cast an image or the depth of their perception, it's a more fundamental issue. Good, Publication consideration, 3 out of 40, 7.5%. We have finally made it to a thumbs up category.
Congratulations, good!
It's all thumbs up from here on out. These pieces feel like they could be considered for publication in the Iowa Review, and more like long shots to win the fiction contest. You know, I checked back into the submittable portal for this video, and I saw that one of the submissions in this publication consideration category was withdrawn and is actually going to be published by the Washington Square Review, which is very cool. Before we get to the final upper levels of consideration, this is a good place to pause and notice some trends, namely 3 main trends in terms of what I read. 1, references to high art. Maybe it's because the Iowa Review has this reputation of being high literature and like this fancy, respected academic kind of a institution. It attracts people referencing other forms of high art, artwork you'd hear about in an art history course, artists that are respected within academia. 2, marriage stories. Couple of nice marriages, but overwhelmingly we're talking about bad marriages.
Nice, Ron.
I sneezed. Oh, I'm not allowed to sneeze.
3, death in the family. Someone near the narrator or protagonist has died and the piece is working through it. My guess is these 3 tenets appear in over 50% of the submissions that I read. Now, I don't think this should change your submission strategy. I'm of the mind that it has a lot more to do with how something is written than what is written about. Proof each of the remaining submissions to talk about contain at least one of these 3 tenets. Strong candidate, 2 out of 40, 5%. I believe these could be finalists. Excellent voices and held my interest from the front to the back. I feel certain that these pieces will be published somewhere, if not the Iowa Review. Again, I can't give away any specifics, but they're really good. That hot dog is just a mess. Now we move to the final tier. Possible winner, 1 out of 40, 2.5%. I wish I could tell you more about this piece because it's so good. It's one where the writer completely melts away and you just buy into the story. It has humor, it has intrigue, it has clear characterization, and it has a genuine heart at the center of it. It's everything I could really want in a piece of short fiction. Like on my brief note that I made when I thumbs up the piece, I pleaded my case for what makes it so good. I'm rooting for it. Hopefully it makes a deep run, and if I was a contest judge, based on the 40 submissions I read, this would be my winner. That's all for today. Join me next month to discuss T. Kira Madden's debut fiction novel, Would-Be. Thank you so much for watching The Maple Desk, and wherever you are, happy reading.